Yo, what is up, my friends? It's your boy Steve from Straight Fire Picks. We're back with your best bets for the NBA here for you today on Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. We got your NBA player props, spreads, totals, predictions, as always. 4 picks in the video. Let's lock in and get this sweep.
Well, my presence isn't real. It's another bad one like this is scale. It's straight fire. All my bets straight from. You're in the house that cap made now. Straight fire.
As always, my friends, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button for me. Always appreciate that. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Appreciate all of your guys' support as always. Let's have a big day again here in the NBA, guys. We love to see it. So let's hop right into a recap from yesterday. We ended up going 3-1 plus 0.80 units. So if you're wondering why we're not up more units, we're betting half units right now so far to open the season. But a very successful day for us yesterday, hitting all 3 of our player props. Ja Morant over 24.5 points, Derek White over 30.5 PRAs, and Cam Thomas under 2.5 threes, which was actually plus value. So we love to see that. Only miss of the day, which would have given us the sweep and given us obviously a lot more units. Dallas Mavericks -3 or -2 on the spread. They ended up losing by 30. So definitely was not what we like to see. Mavs did not show out in game number 1 like we were hoping they would. And obviously that hurt because that was the last leg. And I was really hopeful, obviously, we get the sweep and have a massive night. And it just didn't quite come through. But the reads were on point with our player props. Definitely felt good about that. Ja Morant had 35 points. Cam Thomas didn't make 1 3. Derek White had a lot of shot volume. I mean, it took him a while to get there. He finished with 32, so he didn't clear by a ton. But he had a lot of shot volume. Didn't get as many rebounds and assists as he normally would, but we did end up cashing. But I really felt like the reads were on point yesterday. Hopefully we can keep that going here today. As far as our Comet Cappers go, pretty successful day as well for our Comet Cappers. We had Tevin Herndon calling Jalen Duren over 13.5 points. That cashes. Lit Picks calling the Hornets and Bucks money line parlay. That cashes as well, as both those teams get it done. So great calls there from our Comet Cappers. Make sure you guys don't forget to drop your favorite pick as always down below in the chat. Put a star or an asterisk next to your pick and we'll include your pick in our next video if it hits. As always, keep in mind there's a lot of content available for you here at the channel. In the NFL, we got Thursday Night Football video live already. For that Vikings-Chargers game. And we also have our Week 8 spreads and totals video also live. So you guys can check those out if you guys would like. If you guys are interested in betting the NFL. NFL, we've been on a heater. We made over 12 units in the NFL last weekend. So make sure you guys go check out our NFL videos as well. Obviously, very good week there in the NFL. Last thing, just check out the pinned comment description for any links here that you're looking for here around the channel, social media, membership, merchandise. Membership is just $3.99 for the entire month, guys, and you get access to all these picks and plays and notes and everything early, a couple hours in advance of the video. Also, we're going to be starting up our SFP MVP exclusive pick of the day relatively soon, within the next couple weeks as well. So if you guys are going to want access to that pick, you'll need to be a member as well. Like I said, it's a cost of really less than a coffee now. $3.99. I mean, except for if you're having at-home coffee, then you only have to pay like 20 cents for this or something like that. But man, when I go to Dunkin', just a quick little rant. When I go to Dunkin', I'm dropping like $6 on a coffee. I'm just saying, it's gotten a little outrageous nowadays. But anyway, guys, I digress. Let's get after it and get this sweep here today. Let's get right into our picks. At number 1, we're going Chet Holmgren. Under 1.5 threes here for the Oklahoma City Thunder. We got -108 odds here on FanDuel, risking a half unit. So I've really liked so far the under and threes market. It's been very good to us. 2-0 so far to that market the first couple days of the season. Steph Curry under and Cam Thomas under, both which were sweat free. I think there's a good chance. Obviously, Chet goes under. This one's going to be probably a little sweatier. Just because, you're looking at a 1.5 line. But he is under this line in 35 out of 55 games last season. So like saying that. He did hit the over on 3 of 5 games without Jalen Williams in the lineup. But his attempts went down. his attempts, he averaged just 3.6 attempts without J-Dub in the lineup, where he averaged 3.8 attempts for the whole entire season. So that's interesting. So what happened there is some fluke overs. If you look at who they played the Bucks. He went over versus the Bucks. I mean, their perimeter defense last year was not very good. Went over versus the 76ers. You guys remember all the injuries Philly had. Their perimeter defense wasn't good. He did go over versus the Celtics. That was really the only one that I was like, okay, But outside of that, I think here versus Indiana. Indiana has a pretty good perimeter defense overall, especially the power forwards and centers as far as allowing threes. Because they do go small and they can move. Siakam and Jackson, they should be able to move pretty well and keep a guy like Chet off the three-point line. They ranked 4th best in threes allowed to power forwards, 6th best in threes allowed to centers last season. So it's obviously very good. Like I said, very good on the perimeter there. And it played out that way for Chet. Chet is under in 8 of his last 9 games versus the Pacers. He has not hit the over, really, versus the Pacers. So I'd anticipate more of that. Obviously, they're going to be focused in on him with no J-Dub in the lineup. I don't think that's necessarily a good thing for Chet as far as shooting the ball. And he's coming off a pretty good shooting performance in the first game, so they're going to take note of that, I think. And that game was also at home for the Thunder, so he's going out on the road here versus Indiana. Tough environment. I think he goes under here pretty easily in this one. I'm excited to see this one play out. So, love that for number 1 pick. We got Chet Holmgren under 1.5 threes here for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Minus 108 odds here on FanDuel. Okay, to number 2, we got Brandon Podziemski over 12.5 points here for the Golden State Warriors. We got minus 118 odds on FanDuel, risking a half a unit here. We got Brandon, 6 out of his last 10 home games with Jimmy Butler and Stephen Curry in the lineup has hit this line. Pretty solid there. If you saw the way he ended last season, he cashed in 12 of his last 17 regular season games last year. So that's significant for him there. Obviously, love seeing that. Closed out last season very well, hitting this line. So he's obviously has been more aggressive. The first game he didn't hit it, but he was up against a tougher, defensive matchup there with the Lakers. We talked about the Lakers' perimeter defense, how we thought it'd be improved. That was one of the areas they kind of held Podziemski and Curry kind of off that three-point line. So I wasn't surprised by that at all. But here versus the Nuggets, he's drawing a great matchup. Nuggets ranked 26th in points allowed to shooting guards. So I think this is a great spot here for Brandon. Particularly at home now as well. I think both those things coupled together, I think is very good. He's coming home. I'm coming home. Sorry. He's coming home and he's playing against the Nuggets, like I said, who historically on the perimeter have not been a very good defense. It's just the way it is. So it's played out that way for Brandon. He's cashed this line in 4 of his last 6 games versus the Nuggets, including 26 the last time he played against them. So that's obviously very good. I think once again you can see that because some of the other guys are going to draw tougher matchups, like Jimmy Butler. I think will draw a much tougher matchup if he's got to go against like Aaron Gordon or something like that. It'll be tougher on him, and Podziemski will probably draw the more advantageous matchup here. So I like Podsy to go over. Love it there for a number 2 pick. We got Brandon Podziemski over 12.5 points here for the Golden State Warriors, minus 118 odds on FanDuel. Okay, and at number 3, we're going Aaron Gordon. Over 22.5 PRAs here for the Denver Nuggets. We got minus 110 odds here on BetMGM, risking a half a unit here. Aaron Gordon, 7 of his last 7 games versus the Warriors to this line with an average of 32 PRAs per game. Love to see it, guys. Obviously, he's matched up very well there with the Warriors, and I think here this is a very reasonable line for him. I think he can get this done here today. Warriors ranked 18th in PRAs allowed to power forwards last season. So that's pretty solid. And now you also got to consider the fact there's no MPJ now for the Nuggets. So the reason why I think that's significant is I think that's going to affect Gordon as far as his usage in the rebound department. I think he'll be going after more rebounds because MPJ was a really tall, lengthy guy. And I think you'll see Gordon getting more rebounds this season. His line set to 5.5. So I love that. In addition to also his scoring, obviously, like I said, no MPJ there to shoot the threes and do all those things. They look for Gordon to score a little bit more here. The guy that's filling in for Michael Porter Jr., Cam Johnson, not that he can't score, but I think MPJ is a little bit more volume there. So Like I said, I think Aaron Gordon will have a little bit more opportunity. You know, Aaron Gordon could pass the ball too. He's kind of like his game is somewhat similar to Jokic's as far as like he could rack up assists, rebounds, points. He could do all those things as well. Obviously, Jokic is better, but still, Gordon's very solid in all three departments as well, which is why I like taking him on PRAs. He cashed in 10 of his last 14 road games last season as well, so he's been pretty solid of late on the road. So we like seeing that. And like I said, I think this is a great spot for him here versus Golden State. So love it there for number 3 pick. We're going Aaron Gordon over 22.5 PRAs here for the Denver Nuggets. Minus 110 odds here on BetMGM. And finally at number 4, we got a spread pick, guys. Beware, I'm 0-2 on spreads, but I think we could change that today. We got the Indiana Pacers plus 7.5 on the spread versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. Minus 105 odds on ESPN Bet. Risking a half unit. The Thunder are going to get a lot of respect this year. And I didn't really consider this in the first game, and I probably should have. The Thunder are going to get a lot of respect because they won the title. Done are the days we're going to see the Thunder as any type of underdogs. They're going to get a ton of respect this year on spreads. So that means I would anticipate we're going to see their ATS cover record go down. Just because of coming off of last season. They're going to be posting a lot of bigger spreads. And here, I think the spread is a little unjustified given that Jalen Williams is out. And also, we saw the Thunder, what they did in the first game. They didn't look particularly great. They definitely struggled there versus the Rockets. Rockets covered that spread easily versus the Thunder. That game with the double OT. So there's a lot going on here for me. You got no Jalen Williams. You got a Thunder team that just played a double overtime game and now going out on the road. Early on in the season, I think there'll be a little bit of fatigue there from the Thunder. You know, I think there should be, given, like I said, the double OT game. So Pacers here going to be motivated to get revenge on the Thunder. Obviously, the Thunder don't have any type of that motivation because they already beat this team. They already won the finals. The Pacers in a great revenge spot, though, right? Coming off the finals loss, they're gonna wanna take it to OKC here in game number 1. I know there's no Tyrese Haliburton or McConnell. I know they're big players, but I like the other players that we have here in Indiana as well. I think all these players are terrific with Siakam, Nembhard, Naismith, Mathurin. All these guys are playing. I think they can keep this game close enough, especially at home. I'm not projecting them necessarily to win, but I think the game should be close. Like I said, the revenge spot here. The Pacers won 2 out of 3 games at home in the finals, and they covered this plus 7.5 in all 3 home games. So it's tough to win in Indiana, but it's tough to blow the Pacers out in Indiana. I would say it's even tougher to do that, obviously. So I think the Pacers here get a cover, maybe a backdoor cover, whatever they got to do. I think they get this done, though. Love it there, guys, for number 4 pick. We're going with the Indiana Pacers plus 7.5 on the spread versus the Oklahoma City Thunder, minus 105 odds on ESPN Bet. Risking a half unit there. And then, of course, our for the Sweep Parlay, valued at plus 1,087 odds on Fanatics with our 20% profit boost that they're giving us today. Risking 1/10 of a unit here to make back over a unit, which would obviously be terrific. Like I said, we're taking relatively low risk here early on. Like I said, half unit on each play. If we happen to go 4-0, we'll have a really good day. You know, we'll make close to 3 units-ish in that range if we can cash this parlay, obviously, which would be great. But, yeah, I like the idea of not getting too crazy yet. I'm still kind of want to make sure we're figuring things out here early on in the season, like for probably the first week. No reason to get crazy. Want to make sure our reads are tight. So far, I feel pretty good. Our player props have been 70%. We hit our first total. Granted, that one was definitely lucky. Our spreads aren't quite locked in yet. So hopefully we can get that locked in there with the Pacers tonight. But I'm really happy about the player props so far. Really felt like yesterday was a great day as far as reads. And I'm excited, obviously, for tonight as well. So, as always, guys, I appreciate you guys. That is it for our picks for the day. Keep in mind, check out all of our other content here around the channel. If you guys want to bet the NFL, we have those videos live for you as well. Outside of that, that is going to do it for me. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.